Decisions. We always encounter them on a day-to-day basis. Think about how many tiny choices you make in a day. Choosing what to eat, deciding what to do after you get home, or with what people you want to spend time with. These small choices are part of our daily routine and usually they don't cause too much stress. But today, I'm not talking about these types of decisions. Instead, I want to talk about the major decisions, those that could impact your life depending on the choice you make. But why are these decisions so stressful in the first place? Whenever we are in such a situation, it is easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer pressure that one must make the right decision. The amount of unclarity, the other options you have to risk, and other people's judgment can really be paralyzing. Consequently, if there is no thought put into what choice might benefit them most, it is easy to slip up and choose a bad option, leaving them in a state of regret and ultimately not being able to find a solution to fix this mistake. Yeah, we've all been there. Although these sorts of decisions are hard to make, it doesn't have to feel stressful and scary. How, you may wonder? Well, that is what I'm going to talk about in this video. How to make the right choice in crucial decisions. First things first, I want to address a few things. Do not overcomplicate the decision-making process. After all, it is a simple concept. You have a few choices and you can pick one. For example, don't use any concepts that you are not familiar with, as these may not be helpful as they seem. I'm talking about those methods or tips and tricks that you can find on the internet or on social media. If they are difficult to apply in your day-to-day life or may seem hard to understand, then it is best not to take them into consideration. Secondly, don't let your decisions be influenced by those around you. It's not about them, it's about you. If some might not be able to understand your decision, it is best to talk it out and make the respective people accept your choice. After all, we should be supportive of one another, don't we? Alright, now with these concepts in mind, let's begin with the actionable steps that you can take. Step number 1. Analyze your choices. Pretty straightforward, but we often tend to forget about this crucial step. Whenever you are faced with a major decision, I want you to do the following. Grab a piece of paper or pull up a Notion or a Word document and write down your available choices. Then I want you to provide all the positive and negative aspects you can think of, and always be blunt when providing these aspects. By making this simple analysis, it will give you a better clarity and make it easier to pick an option that benefits your goals. As I previously said, you don't have to make it more complicated than it seems. Take your time, carefully analyze your choices, and let your intuition do its job. Now, assuming that you did that, let's move on to the next step. Number 2. Stop being afraid of the unknown. Indeed, we can predict what will happen in the future, but I think it's what makes these decisions so intriguing. Think of it as like playing a video game that you have never heard of before. The first part of the game will be pretty easy. You know what to do and are ready to tackle the next levels. Later, some enemies will appear in the form of problems, but you don't know how to deal with them. You fail and continuously fail until you learn from your past experiences and eventually get the hang of it. And progressively, the levels and enemies will get harder, but with the experience you gathered, you manage your way through, until you of course win the game. Most people fear these decisions because their mindset is fixated on the bad side, instead of focusing on the journey they have ahead. And what I'm trying to imply is that yes, you will make mistakes, and that's okay. We are humans after all. But what is vital to remember is that you need to view failure as an opportunity to grow and become better, as if you're ever faced with more problems, you will get the hang of it. Just like in the video game analogy. Step number 3. Take the risk. To illustrate this, when I was thinking about making this video, I was in doubt. I thought no one would care and will not be an interesting topic to express my opinion towards. But in the end, I brushed these thoughts aside and got to work. Now, here I am. Now, if you are aware of the fact that one of these options works best for you, but the difficulty might seem intimidating and you're constantly doubting whether you could do it or what others will say, the thing I would just say to someone is to just go for it, because you will never know where such a risk or decision will take you. Simple as that. So whenever you're faced with an option that you know will guarantee you success in the near future, I would say to just take the risk and do it. It's the journey that matters. Well, you did it. You made a weighty decision. You've analyzed your choices carefully, you are aware of what you're in for, and you took the risk. Now what? Well, that's where step 4 comes into play. Commitment. Sometimes after making a big decision, the real challenge begins, not just in following through, but in staying committed, especially when things get tough. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, or you might feel overwhelmed by the consequence of your choice. Maybe things don't turn out exactly as you expected. But here's the thing. Don't give up. If you've made your choice based on careful thought, intuition, and risk-taking, trust the process. It's easy to second-guess yourself when faced with difficulties or when things take longer than anticipated. However, remember that long-term success or growth often requires persistence and resilience. Major decisions, by their nature, have lasting impact and rarely offer instant gratification. Keep reminding yourself why you made that choice in the first place. What goals or values led you to that decision, and lean on that motivation during challenging times. Now, the road of success or personal fulfillment is rarely linear. There will be setbacks and moments of uncertainty, but each step forward, no matter how small, contributes to your growth. So stay focused, stay patient, and don't let temporary struggles discourage you from continuing down the path you've chosen. By sticking with your decision, you give yourself the chance to see it through and reap the benefits of your perseverance. In summary, once you've made a decision, just give yourself the grace to navigate through it. Perfect. I enjoyed talking about this topic, and I hope I gave you all a better insight into making decisions. Now remember, be patient with yourself, be flexible with the outcome, and most importantly, don't give up. Alright, I'll see y'all in the next video.